Let's look at the stages of interpersonal relationships. There are 6 stages that interpersonal relationships can go through. So if we're looking at interpersonal relationships to start off, remember this is relationships between 2 people who are interdependent. So the actions of one affect the other, and they have a relationship. So this can be friendship, it can be love relationship, it can be family relationships. When we look at the stages of interpersonal relationships, we look at it through the relationship. So we're looking at 2 people's relationship and how they move through this model. Now, as you noticed in the PowerPoint and in the slides and in your textbook, the relationship model isn't a step 1 through 6 model. It's not chronological. And so you can move back and forth between stages. And that's vitally important as we get going. The 6 stages of interpersonal relationships are contact, involvement, intimacy, deterioration, repair, and dissolution. So let's start by looking at each of these and getting a little bit more in depth so that we know what they mean. The first step is the contact step. So sorry for the misstep there. The contact stage is where first perceptual contact occurs. It's when you first meet the other person. You get to know them a little bit. You can see what they look like. You get to know their personality. At the contact stage, your interactional content is going to be very, very impersonal. You're going to talk in small talk. You're going to introduce yourself, say, how are you? Find out a little bit about what the person does and get to know them, but it's very superficial and impersonal. At this point, physical attractiveness can be very important because it's something that everybody can easily see, and we begin to make those first perceptual filters. Please remember, you can stay at the contact stage. You may have that with some classmates or even some people you work with. You know their name, a little bit about them, but that's pretty much it. You can continue on through the relationship model if you would like to and move to stage 2, which is involvement. At involvement, a sense of mutuality or connectedness begins to occur. You feel connected to this other person. The majority of our interpersonal relationships like to stay at the involvement level. Our interactions have more depth, and so we talk to people about the test that they've taken or the adventure that they went on this past weekend or the concert that they were going to. When we look at the involvement stage, we feel a connection for the other person. So our interactions have more depth. And we try to get to know the other person and get involved with them. Stage 3 is intimacy. And I want to make sure we all understand that intimacy does not equal physical intimacy because this can be any type of relationship, not just a love relationship. Intimacy is a feeling that you can be the real you. You can be you. You can share your real thoughts, your real feelings, and know that this person is going to still accept you. The intimacy stage is considered the pinnacle of the relationships. At this stage, 2 phases usually occur: the interpersonal commitment phase and the social bonding phase. At interpersonal commitment, you commit yourself to each other in some way. It could be moving in together, getting married, deciding that you're best friends. The social bonding phase is where you make your relationship known to other people. And as a result, when they see one of you in public or out and about, they'll ask about the other person because you're so connected that you're even connected in those people's minds. As a reminder, you can stay at any of these stages. So just because you move from the intimacy stage to another stage does not mean your relationship is doomed. Stage 4 is deterioration. At deterioration, the bonds that hold you together with the other person are starting to weaken. Lots of reasons can occur for deterioration. It could be stress, it could be life, it could be schedule changes. It could just be lack of communication. And you stop investing the time and energy that relationships require. And so when we look at deterioration, sad to say, you can stay at deterioration and just stay in a relationship where there's problems occurring and things are going bad and nothing really happened. At this point, you can make a choice. You can go to repair or you can go to dissolution. We're going to go to repair and try to fix this relationship. When we think about repair, a lot of times we start and think, well, this is what the other person should do. Instead, we need to start with intrapersonal repair. Analyze what went wrong. Think about your relationship. Talk about it with yourself. Why are you upset? What do you wish would change? That way, when you move to interpersonal repair and take it to the other person, you can talk and listen really well. Here's what you want to change. Here's what you're willing to do. Here's what you're expecting the other person to do. And then listen to what they expect and what they want so that you can engage actively in repair. You can do repair on your own as the two of you together, or even go to other people, family, friends, counselors, to help work through repair. The last stage of the relationship model is dissolution. And dissolution is cutting of the bonds that hold you together. Interpersonal separation occurs at this point. You don't see each other, you don't return each other's message, you might seek a legal separation or unfollow each other on social media. We know that dissolution isn't comfortable in a relationship. And so that doesn't mean we avoid it, but it does mean that when dissolution occurs, we need to break the loneliness cycle. We need to reach out to other friends, and we need to learn from the relationship. What was great? What went wrong? What can we use for future relationships to help those relationships flourish? As we look at this 6-stage model, again, please remember you don't have to go from stage 1 to stage 6. So if a relationship is in deterioration, it might be a good time to think about repair and think about what you can do to help the relationship get back to intimacy or even involvement or contact. Have a beautiful and wonderful day.